Hello and welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me again for another night of Facebook Live. I also like to take time out to recognize those that catch the replay from YouTube and or SoundCloud. I am your host, Anntricia Bray Smith, author, educator, and public speaker. It is indeed a blessing to be here with you tonight, as tonight we're speaking from the topic, anybody need some help? Anybody needs some help. This is our topic tonight. And guys, I hope to shed a little light on what it is when we say the word help, when we need help. Because for some of us, it looks so different. We have this vocabulary that we use that we've been taught since being a little bitty, little bitty child, taught words and the way those words are put into context and how we perceive that and what we think that those words mean. And so I hope that tonight you get a clear understanding of what I mean by anybody needs some help, guys, because I am in a situation emotionally to where I just feel like, I'm in that point right now to where my soul is just crying out for help, just crying out for help, just taking on all the different emotions and all of the different uh, hurts and just things that, people that I love and people that we love and people that we encounter from day to day are dealing with. And we have to be able to have that release. We have to be able to have that release to the point to where when we are in that state of needing help, that we have somebody that's ready to pour into us and give us the help that we need to make it through, if not another day, just the next minute. And so this is where we're at tonight. And I'm not going to hold you long tonight, but as you guys are logging on with me, go ahead and like and share this video. Go ahead and like and share the video. And if you're catching the replay on YouTube or streaming through Facebook, finding the replay on your timeline, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel has all of the video context that we have here on our lives every night, and you can get that on demand. You can watch it at your convenience. You can stream it from your phone while you're traveling up and down or commuting up and down the highway. So that's the beauty of technology, using it to our advantage, using it to where it pours into us at just the right time when we need it. So for you guys that are logging on with me tonight, feel free to leave a shout out. Feel free to add your comments in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you tonight. Anybody need some help? And like I said, I'm at that point tonight to where I feel like I'm in need of. Hey Keisha, how are you tonight? I feel like I'm one that is in need of help tonight. And like I said, it's an emotional thing. And for some of us, it's a monetary thing. For others of us, it's a physical thing. For others, it's an emotional thing. It's a spiritual thing. There's so many ramifications of help and how we perceive our need for help. So my question that I would pose to you guys tonight is, what does that look like for you? What does it look like when you hear the word help? And do we have the vocabulary to express all that we need as it relates to help? So we know that for many people, expressing what it is that we really need, or expressing, hey Diane, how are you, babe? Expressing what we really feel. Most of the time we don't have the vocabulary for that. don't have the vocabulary to express 100% what it is we need. Sometimes we look at the symptoms. Sometimes we look at the effects, or sometimes we're so bombarded with different emotions that when we say we need help, we don't even really know what or understand what it is we need help with. Okay, so did you have something you'd like to share tonight, baby? As we're talking about the need for help. You're just here to support me tonight?
I guess.
This is my beautiful daughter, Malaya. So hit that heart button and show us some love tonight. I'm grateful that she's with me tonight here on the platform. So yeah, so tonight when I'm talking about anybody needs some help, guys, there is a difference between a need for help and a need to want somebody to have a pity party with you. And this is where I find some of us are on the side of. We're on the side of feeling sorry for ourselves. We're on the side of knowing that we need something, but really not really willing to commit to the process or commit to what it takes to get the help that we need. And sometimes it's that we desire help, but we don't want the help from those that are extending the hand for help. Or we don't really trust those. You got some love coming on on the comment section. Or we don't really understand what it is, you know. Some people are their need to be helped, it runs so deep that it's hard for them to process what it is beyond that feeling that usually ends up in depression, or usually ends up in isolating, or usually ends up in misuse or abuse. So when I say anybody out, hey mom, how are you? Hey Tammy. When I ask you, anybody needs some help, is there anybody out there to that can really relate to me right now and really understand what it is when I say I need some help? I need some help. Because I'm at that point right now to where I can just hear my soul just crying out, help. I can just hear it just crying out, help. And it's not only for me, guys. It's for the loved ones. It's for my daughters. It's for my babies. It's for my friends. It's for my family. It's just that cry for help that it seems like no matter what we do to try to do good, or no matter what we do to try to do right, or no matter how hard we work to try to dig out of this, or no matter how hard we do to do all these things that people say we need to do to get to a certain level, sometimes even all of that, it just does not seem to work. It just does not seem to have the effect that we are looking for. So it's just like you're in a press. It's just like you're running a race, and you continue to run up against a wall. And you bounce back and you get back up and you try it again, and you bounce back and you get back up and you try it again. And that's the way so many of us are in our lives right now. So many of us have gotten so complacent in our pain that we don't want to try anything different. We don't want to extend the request for help, because we've gotten so complacent in this place of pain. We've gotten so complacent in this place of lack. We've gotten so complacent in this feeling of abandonment. We've gotten so complacent in this detachment, that we really don't know where to turn. We feel like we're just okay dwelling in the place that we are. Because at least where we are familiar with what we're dealing with. At least where we are, we don't have to fear being rejected, because this place is familiar to us. At least where we are, we can just be satisfied with what we've settled for. Because at least we know this. We know this. We know what to expect. And so we've kind of adopted them emotions and them feelings of being helpless and hopeless, that it seems like this is all we have. This is all we have to look forward to from day to day. Let's see what the comments say here. It says, we heal through relationships. It's not meant to be done alone. That's correct. But even so, healing through those relationships, many times when we go through stuff, and I've said this so many times before, instead of gravitating and holding on to those that are willing to support us, oftentimes what we do is we isolate ourselves. We isolate ourselves. We don't have the vocabulary, or we don't have the trust, or we don't have the desire to share what we're going through with other people. And sometimes that's some of the hardest places to be in. To be in a place of suffering, or to be in a place of need, or to be in a place of lack, or to be in a place of trauma, that we feel like we have to harvest it all to ourselves. We have to isolate ourselves from the people who can really reach out to help us, or to give us guidance, or to give us directions, or to share resources that will help pull us from the place that we're in. You look like you wanted to say something. It's okay, just jump right in if you have something you'd like to say. You took after your mama. So, your nanny said you took after your mama, so I guess you looking like me tonight.
She was talking about you taking after.
Oh, you talking about me?
I don't know.
Hey Tay, thanks for joining me, baby. Yeah, so anybody out there needs some help? And if we're out here and we recognize tonight that we are in a place to where we really need help, the first thing we need to really consider is, what kind of help do we really need? In the midst of it all, what kind of help do we really need? Because until we can come to terms with what it is that we really need, we're not willing to accept anything. Yeah. I'm with you, Mama. I'm with you. Yeah. Because until we can really be aware, until we really understand that we need one another, and that when we really come to understand that when we love each other, we take on that hurt, we take on that feeling, we take on that emotion that one another is feeling. So that means that when you guys are hurting, I'm hurting along with you. When you guys are suffering loss, I'm suffering that loss with you. When you guys are having issues that we see that you have, but you're not communicating, and you're just holding it in, and we see your pain, and we see your struggle from day to day, we're going through it right along with you. So is anybody out there really need some help? Anybody really just ready to just lay it all out on the table? Lay it all out on the table, and finally ready to say, hey, we don't need this as a crutch anymore. We don't need this lack as a crutch anymore. We don't need this fear of rejection as a crutch anymore. We don't need this abandonment issue as a crutch anymore. We don't need this hurt and this pain and this unforgiveness and this bitter and this anger. We don't need it as a crutch anymore. Tonight, we just need help. Tonight, our soul just cries out for help. And if I can't cry out for myself, can I cry out for somebody else? Can I cry out for somebody else that don't have the tears to cry? Can I cry out for somebody else that don't have the words to express the things that they're going through? Can I cry out for somebody else who just in a place of loneliness and depression and anxiety and fear and so many other emotional issues that they became complacent in, that they just feel like there is no way out? When was the last time that we could actually feel the hurt and the trauma of somebody else? When was the last time we really had somebody laid out before the Lord and put them before the Lord and fasted and prayed and cried out on their behalves? Because we see everything that they're going through, and we can feel their pain, and we can see the hurt through their eyes, and we can see the tears cried and flowing through down their faces. You know, when do we get to that point? When do we get to that point of love? When do we get back to that point of just understanding? When will we get to that point to where this is not good enough? What we settle for is not good enough. What we settle for is not our abundance. What we settle for is not the highest level of expectation that we can get to. What we settle for is not our greatness. What we settle for is just mediocre. And all we have done is just taken all of that and became complacent. So anybody out here besides me need help? Anybody out here besides me willing to cry out for somebody else? Anybody out here besides me really willing to sacrifice their own selfish needs in order to reach out to make sure somebody else is okay? Because I tell you, that young woman, that young man that you walk around and you see they smiling, and you see them they looking pretty, and you see them they smelling good, and you see them look like everything is all right. Did you know some of them is just a encouraging word away from falling apart? An encouraging word away from just ready to throw in the towel? And that they really need to hear from us. We really need to hear from somebody. Because we look like we got it all together, but truly, you know, we really struggling with this thing. We really struggling with it. And because I need help, I feel like I can't reach out and help nobody else. And because I need help, I'm so focused on my need that I've neglected that young lady or that young man that I pass by every day. If that ain't the truth, you can't be helped if you don't know what the source is. We need each other, guys. We need to be concerned about each other. And just because it looks like I may have it all together, just because it looks like everything in my life is lining up, just because it looks like I'm doing all right, just because it looks like I'm not bothered by lack, just because it looks like I'm not bothered by loss, just because it looks like my family is doing good, just because it looks like I got enough to have food on the table. You know, we're consumed by what things look like, to the point that we're not really listening with our heart. We're not really seeing with our heart. We're so carnal. We can't see past the natural eye. When was the last time you really looked at somebody? And I mean really looked at them. Looked at them past the smile that they give. Look at them past the hugs that feel so good. Looked at them past the beauty on their face. Looked at them past what it looks like, what they're trying to put out there for you to see, to hide behind the pain, hide behind their complacency, hide behind their bitterness, hiding behind their brokenness. Anybody out here need some help? Anybody out here need some help, really? Because I'm at that point tonight. If I didn't have you guys that I could sit here and sit here and share this. Thank you, Janitra. You say great topic, but it's just my issue, baby. Tonight, this is just my issue. This is just me trying to press through all the emotion, all the heartache, all the bitterness, all the disappointment. It's just trying to press through, not to make it through another day, but to press through to the point to where I can help somebody make it through the next second. So that I can help somebody make it through the next minute. We don't know who watch us. We don't know who we pass every day. We don't know what opportunities we've missed just to make a difference in somebody's day because we're complacent. We're complacent. We've sat in our own pain enough that we think that this is just the way it is. We've accepted that this is just my life. And there's nothing different. Every time I've tried something different, I've always ended up taking 2 steps forward and being knocked 3 steps back. And so I get up and I try to press again. I try to press again. I try to press again. And sometimes we get to the point to where we say, what's the use? But you know, I wake up every day with the hope of making a difference. Not only pressing through my life and my issues, but to make a difference even for somebody else. To give a word that's going to help somebody else. To share a smile that can help somebody else. What is it that we're doing? Do anybody really need some help out there? Are we really willing to be in tune to what we really need help with? And are we really willing to accept the help that someone along our day is willing to give? Because I tell you what, it's not sitting in the pity party with me. It's not sitting in no pity party with me. That's not help. It's not enabling. That's not help. It's not feeling sorry for me. That's not help. Are we really ready to do what we've been called to do? Are we really willing to use the gifts that we have been blessed with? The gift of our voice, the gift of our heart, the gift of our compassion, being concerned about one another. That's right, Janitra. And we have to get to that point. And just like you reached out and you greeted my baby and you say I love you. You know, that means a lot. Because whereas I might not be able to reach my baby, you or somebody else may can. And those words right there, she may receive it from you quicker than she would receive it from me. And that's just the way life is. So what is it that we do when we see other people's babies? Are we reaching out? Are we showing them love? Are we giving them a smile? Are we greeting them? Or what is it that we do? And it's no different from us women. It's no different from us. That's how we help one another. That's how we show love and compassion and concern for one another. Anybody out here need some help? Anybody out here know what we need help with? And is anybody willing to really accept the help, no matter where it comes from? Something to think about, guys. It's time to come out of that complacent place. Stop feeling sorry for ourselves. Stop dwelling in that place of hurt and pain. And stop dwelling there. Let us help one another. Let us be concerned about one another. Sacrifice. Commit. It indeed has been a blessing to be here with you tonight. I appreciate you joining me. I am your host, Anntricia Bray Smith, author, educator, and public speaker. I'll meet you right back here tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Good night, everybody.